Well, I definitely believe that the US market is ready for zero-emission vehicles and specifically for electric vehicles.
The headlines are very simple. For Stellantis, we are starting today a very strong journey as we are going to launch in the next few years 25 new pure EV models.
Last year, the Jeep brand announced a comprehensive plan for its next generation of fully electric 4Z vehicles as part of a sustainable transformation to become the leading electrified SUV brand in the world. Stellantis calls for the introduction of 4 all-electric SUVs in North America and Europe by the end of 2025. As part of an ongoing comprehensive product plan, 50% of Jeep brand sales in the US will be fully electric by 2030, while 100% of European sales will be all-electric by then. The plan is in full support of the net zero carbon emissions targets set by Stellantis during the Dare Forward 2030 long-term strategic plan. But what happened on the EV strategy? Why Stellantis is giving up 100% EV lineup for 2030? Thanks to joining the video, which we will dive in more EV strategy of Jeep Automotive Company. Stellantis CEO Carlos Tavares just said something that nobody expected, since all automotive manufacturers have strict target to reach zero carbon strategy on coming years. Apart from other manufacturers, BYD and Tesla are thriving legacy. Automakers are struggling to make a profit on electric vehicles. The shocking forecast of future cost and other dark clouds on electric vehicle production might blow your mind up and makes things even worse. Stellantis CEO has been saying some concerning stuff against electric vehicles. He even claimed that the price of electric vehicles might go up significantly by 50% in the near future. But why are Chinese EV makers killing every company out there? Stellantis CEO claims it's impossible to make electric vehicles profitable, but that how is Tesla or BYD pulling this off? Despite pricing their cars in the luxury segment, cheap Chinese car manufacturers are winning the EV price war, while all the legacy automakers are facing low sales. Is this game over for Stellantis? Will the rise of new EV giants cause Stellantis to close its doors in? First of all, let's talk about why the electric vehicles production is so expensive. RAM material shortage, availability and costs of crucial battery materials like lithium, cobalt, and nickel have been key concerns for years among EV makers trying to build out their electric lineups. Stellantis CEO Carlos Tavares said he expects shortages of the batteries and raw materials needed to make electric vehicles in the coming years as the global automotive industry pivots to electric vehicle to meet an expected increase in consumer demand and government regulations. Tavares said he expects a shortage of EV batteries by 2024 to 2025, followed by a lack of raw materials for the vehicles that will slow availability and adoption of electric vehicles by 2027 to 2028. Tavares also mentioned during the battery plant announcement in Indiana, which cost $2.5 billion for the company. He said the speed at which we're trying to move all together for the right reason, which is fixing the global warming issue, is so high that the supply chain and the production capacities have no time to adjust. Stellantis has ambitious plans with a whopping investment of over $35.5 billion on plug-in models through 2025 and a first EV battery factory in collaboration with Samsung. But all these dreams hinge on one major assumption: a good supply of raw materials. Elon Musk of Tesla and other car makers have both voiced their concerns about the impending scarcity of not just lithium, but other materials like nickel, graphite, and cobalt, while the world might technically have enough resources. Just imagine a company after COVID selling rarely their cars due to chip shortage to final customer with decent profit. And on top of that, on coming year, there is a raw materials hike around 50%, which impact companies' profit dramatically. So how these companies can withstand with their electric vehicle strategy without having enough profit and market share, since their main competitors Tesla and Chinese are dominating the market with aggressive price positioning.
What has been decided is to impose on the automotive industry electrification that brings 50% additional cost against a conventional vehicle. So we have to digest 50% of additional cost.
So how to digest the 50% raw material hike? Based on last company forecast, even they increase the car prices by 20%, they will not reach the profit level. On top of that, they will never have any chance in front of Tesla and Chinese aggressive pricing strategy. This will bring extra stock holding cost for dealers, which will ruin dealers' cash flow, and unfortunately this will impact all dealer network. Beginning of the year, Jeep puts the brakes on electric ambitions. Here's why Jeep sales were down nearly a record 20% for the first quarter of 2023. Ram sales are down 17%, and overall Stellantis Group sales affected in all over the world due to massive recalls on new Grand Cherokee and Wrangler, since company did not give attention on cart lineup, which is even much more profitable than planned, due to keeping their engineering very busy and tight for electric ambition plan and cutting R&D budget for internal combustion engines. But according to recent announcements from Stellantis, considering all the uncertainties and profit restrictions, they are trying to delay the electric vehicle ambition plan as much as they can. Jeep, an iconic off-road brand with a legacy stretching back to World War II, has not been napping in the electric revolution with the Wrangler and Grand Cherokee, now available as 4Z plug-in hybrids. The company has clearly indicated its commitment to electrification. As Christian Monet, Jeep brand CEO, declared, Jeep aims to be the leading zero-emission SUV brand in the world. That's impressive. Jeep has teased the market with prototypes like the Wrangler Magneto 3.0 concept, boasting a staggering 650 horsepower and 900 pound-feet of torque. The fully electric Wrangler's launch has been pushed back to a mind-boggling 2027. So why the company is pushing back the electric Wrangler even the car is ready on production and meet the final customer? Another sign that considering Stellantis' harmony with Chrysler and Peugeot Group, they exist with their large iconic SUVs Wrangler, Grand Cherokee, Ram, and Wagoneer, which especially in United States, all those vehicles are using for purpose, carrying their yachts, loading big trees and driving them into wild which place there is no chance ought find electric stations. And there is not much usage or test for electric SUV to using it in such purposes for 10, 15 or even longer years, while current lineup has experienced and famous for. Over time the batteries in electric SUVs can degrade leading to reduced range. Replacing these batteries can be expensive. Stellantis CEO Carlos Tavares once said that the shift to electric vehicles might make cars unaffordable for the average person, reflecting on the high development and production costs of electric vehicles. This is actually another blocking point for company strategy, which Jeep Chrysler brands are born for this purpose, to be in wild and being a big strong giant. So what will be the plan of Stellantis? Carlos Tavares said the entry-level Avenger crossover has already made its debut in Europe, and the rugged Recon EV is on track for a US release next year. Even the luxurious Wagoneer is scheduled for a full reveal later than this year. It appears that company direction will not change to reach zero carbon, but on the other hand, for the iconic SUVs, they might not change ICE to full electric vehicle, and keeping to producing for some period for special customers to whom might have extra cost to cover emission penalty the company may face. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the car nerd for detailed explanation of the Jeep electrification strategy. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel for more captivating content. Stay tuned for our next exploration into the extraordinary realm of cars. Until then, drive with passion and embrace the thrill of the road.